Hi, I'm Angela, and this video is in the Healthy Relationships series, and it's about how do you add value to your relationships. So a lot of us want to go into a relationship for a lot of different reasons, but if I could reduce it pretty simply, we want to love and to be loved. So we want to give and we want to receive that love. And it's a basic human need, and it's a basics of human nature. So we're born that way. If we're looking at how we want to add value, there's going to need to be a sense of how we actually do give to others. And sometimes it's so difficult to perceive that, because when you're giving, you're not watching yourself give, you're just giving. It just comes. If we look at kids, they just naturally give you something. Before language, they go into that. And if we watch children, they will naturally just do things like go look for affection. They'll go and seek it. And they'll go for touch quite naturally as well. So some kids are not raised in ideal circumstances, and we learn from that as well. If they're deprived of touch, if they're deprived of mirroring from the parents through the eyes, through talking and sound and holding, they will shut down. The basis of human nature is to understand that dance. How do I, when I'm actually receiving input from a loved one, also want to give? It's a reciprocal relationship. I call it a dance, but it's always based on what am I getting right now, and then what do I want to give back? So if we look at the example of children raised in environments where they don't get that care, they don't get touch, conversation and interaction, they will shut down, and that's what they're reflecting back to their environment. So they're still actually giving back. They're a reflection of the lack of touch, intimacy, connection, dialogue, interaction, and mirroring through the eyes, or even just attentiveness. So when you have a partner that gives something to you, you may notice that your first response may just to receive it organically. And that's great. That's you just receiving it, enjoying it naturally. Sometimes you might have a partner that gives you something and you'll start to question, why are they doing it that way? That's an odd thing to do. I don't like that. Another important part of you to take care to notice how you respond when something is given to you, because they're all information about how you receive, and also that natural impulse of receiving. When you just receive something, not saying that you're taking it for granted, because it can be quite normal to just receive. It's how we are programmed, but it may be unconscious about how you do that receiving, or if there is a judgment about what your partner's giving you, that's also there for you to watch, because it's how you've interpreted receiving. So why am I focusing on what the partner gives you and your response to what they're giving you? Your response is a very big note if we're looking at your love story and your love habits and what I've called your love signature. Big note in how you create love in your life. And it's also a key to how you give value to others. So sometimes we judge ourselves if we're not joyous about how our partner gives us love. But sometimes you may be resisting your partner because you need to play that role for them. You may be actually mirroring back to them something they need to have awareness about. It doesn't mean being cruel. I don't mean you have to sleep around on your partner because they need to realize that they've been neglecting themselves, as I've seen some people use as a justification. I needed to show how you were just shutting me out, so I cheated on you. No, but Sometimes you need to play a certain role for your partner that's unconscious, and you might not be aware of that role that you're playing. So that's why I'm also focusing on how you receive as a way to see how you add value. Because when you see how you receive, you can change it. You can understand more about your judgments about belief if there's some question that you have about why your partner's giving you things that way. Your preferences about how you like to receive. So just know you're more about what you naturally are attracted to, which is always great to understand better or to just acknowledge. And then you'll be aware of things like your love languages, which Dr. Gary Chapman has shared with us so wonderfully. And those 5 languages are gifts, touch, quality time, acts of service, and words. The words one is where I always seem to blank out. I'm not a really great person when it comes to giving words to my partner. I'm a physical touch, quality time girl. So that's where I see myself giving the value. And it may not be what my partner wants. So if words are what my partner wants, I encourage my partner to tell me that so I can be more conscious and aware of it. But then being aware of how my love languages are, I also get to see where I give value. Why am I focusing on bringing awareness to how you give value? When we start to see how we give value to our lives, there is an important opportunity, which I've noticed is going under-recognized in our lives these days that get more and more busy. It's so important to see where you give value so you can celebrate it and so you can laugh about it, share it, put it in your calendar if you have to, or just spend a moment during your day. If you're feeling disgruntled, if you're feeling like I'm not really getting anything out of your life and you want to build value, think about it. If you focus on how you give value to your partner or to those you love, then that's the first thing to bring you that energy back in your day, to give you the value back into your life. This is what's important to me. This is how I give value to those I love. And put it at the forefront of your mind. Send a text to someone you care about. Make a special meal. Or do that thing that you know is what you love doing for those that you love. And when your energy goes down, you can draw on it more quickly because you've got an acknowledgement of how you give value to those you love.